So, Bilbo's been really good for us in a Dimir shell, and I wanted to take some time to work on some other versions with Bilbo before we come back to the Dimir version. Although again, I have liked it a lot there. There's been a lot of rumbling about Bilbo alongside adventure creatures. I've seen some people talk about Pitlock Prankster. I've seen a lot of people talk about Questing Druid. Cards that I think are not that good, but adventures are very good with Bilbo because you actually can play adventures from the graveyard when you attack with Bilbo. They cost one less, and then your adventure creature also costs one less when you play it from the yard. So I kind of have the thought that maybe Gandalf Goblin's Bane is better than these other options. One, it's a new card and I want to play it, but it's just kind of in a better, maybe I guess Prankster's just kind of weak, but it doesn't make you splash green like Questing Druid does, and also this ability here, Flameshape. It's pretty interesting to me. It's pretty different from Questing Druid. So this one says you look at the top two cards of your library, you exile them face down, so your opponent can't see them, which is pretty cool. And for as long as they remain exiled, you can play them if you control a wizard. So it's interesting to me. You can Flame Shape on turn 2, even if you don't have a wizard, even if you won't have a wizard for a little bit, and you could just get these cards later. And I think that it also plays really interesting with Force of Negation. If you're able to Flame Shape and hit a Force of Negation, then you can go just play your Gandalf on turn 3, and then you have Force of Negation that's face down up. Wait, so this is 63? Oh, there's three extra lands in here. Oh, so yeah, there's only supposed to be one Bloodstained Mire. Okay. I don't know exactly how that happened. Um, okay, so yeah, I think it's very interesting with Force of Negation too. And then you have the Bilbo synergy, and then you also just have Bilbo flashing back card draw and removal spells too. Although a little less card draw, or maybe not less if you should count Gandalf, I suppose. And then also I think Gandalf is good with Mishra's Bauble, so you get to have that synergy too. Sideboard is classic blue sideboard. I did think it was really important to splash black. I think it's really important to splash black. There's like a lot of psychic frogs and there's a lot of slumbering trudges. So I think it's difficult to be in on Galvanic Discharge as your other 1-mana removal spell. Okay, let's try this hand. May I ask why 2 bolts? I wanted 2 more 1-mana removal spells, and I thought that they were the next best in slot. My opponent seemingly meant to imprint Caverns to Caverns. This kind of happens sometimes when you want to do that, and you click both, and they both go to play. I can't copy paste this, can I? Yeah, okay, it's fine. And then they oh no. And then they also exile the cookbook. You don't have to exile the second thing. So opponent accidentally downed 2 cards that they didn't need to be down, and they could have keyed to the side door at this Gemstone Caverns. So it looks like they're playing a cool key to the side door mono red deck, which is nice. Like, so they're playing Sokinson, probably Shinka, Ragavan, Gemstone Caverns, key to the side door, Asmo, cookbook, all very nice. Okay, let's play a Bilbo, but their misclick is kind of just costing them this whole game. So they Galvanic Blast my Bilbo. And their last card is a key to the side door. So maybe if they have more of these, they can bounce back from the misclick. Let's cast Flameshape. And so these are 2 face down cards. One of them's a Bauble and one of them's a Bilbo. Oh, sorry, I should have played the Grave Untapped. It's not a big deal. So I guess let's go... Oh, I have to play this before the Bilbo. I guess that's a bit awkward. This puts a counter on the... it's +1 till end of turn and a damage. It's not a counter. Okay, then let's just get a swamp. Oh, sorry, I'm not playing the swamp. I actually have both of my untapped black sources already in play. Okay, very weird game. I'm gonna maybe strike that one from the record. I don't know. I'm going to play my explosives. I will play my Brotherhood ends, I guess. I don't know. Are they going to be playing many snare targets? Probably not. They are playing Gemstone Caverns and like surely Urza Saga, so I think I'm going to play the Charmaws. Then play like 1 Force of Negation, maybe. Maybe 1 Charmaw, 2 Force of Negation on the draw. Is Delirium too unreliable to get things there to play Heat over Bolt? Question mark, question mark. So yes, without Dragon Rage's Channeler, like we're not currently very good at getting Delirium. So like if this was the same list and we played 2 Heat over 2 Bolt, we would not be getting Delirium consistent enough. I actually don't even know if it's possible because we have no sorceries. Sure, I'll keep this. And then beyond that, just kind of simple, yes. Okay, so this stops my Bilbo, but I have Brotherhood End, and I have explosives to deal with it, and I don't have Bilbo in hand, so I don't think we force. Although it does stop the Snapcaster Mage. I think I'll graveyard that. And then another, like, it just kind of is a problem. Your heats just are a problem because heats are. Maybe I force this one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna force this one with another snap in my hand. Although I have to deal with this first. Yeah, the heats just are a problem because they're too slow to stop your slumbering trudge, your opponent's slumbering trudge. They don't come down fast. It doesn't. You're not delirious fast enough to stop turn, like, let's say turn 3 fight rigging, even though it can happen turn 2. I was hoping they play a Gemstone Caverns this turn so I could cast the Charmaw. Will Steamcaster be playable in Burn? I think probably not. But never say never. So we have 4 answers to the cage in the deck. Be nice to also deal with the key potentially. See if they have a Shinka or Sokinzon. If they do, they're not activating yet. Nice. Now it seems like we totally just set up. Oh my gosh, what? Okay. I guess I'm just gonna. Okay, well, I'm gonna keep my cool. I'm just gonna blow up the construct, and you know they made a bad misclick game 1. We made a bad misclick this game. It is what it is. Had the same yesterday. Yeah, I thought I clicked it. Yeah, there have been some changes to the UI. They have a Galvanic Blast, so they hit me with the Ragavan. They also have a Shinka. They find a Mishra's Bauble, which they can cycle pretty good. You have a recast of Bilbo from Bilbo Tech. So the whole problem is there's a cage stopping me from playing things off Bilbo, which is, so I do not have that available. They discard a Ragavan, they draw 2. So go Flameshape and play Gandalf. Can play Gandalf for just 2 mana. I have a Bilbo and I've got a Delta, so I get to play the Delta. I think Gandalf's been looking pretty good so far. Small sample size. This is face down right now. My opponent doesn't know I have this Bilbo, so there's maybe some equity in the fact that my opponent can't or my opponent has like a Galvanic Blast. They may kill the Bilbo and not the Gandalf, for example. Maybe that's not a great example because that they wouldn't do that in this spot. But you may see a somewhat similar situation. I don't think I care about this Fatal Push. I want to draw an answer to these artifacts. I've got 3 more in the deck to dig for. Killing the Gandalf switch my card. Yeah, I agree. It's not like a great example, and like not relevant here. I'm just kind of trying to talk in general. Like Bilbo may be just like the more important threat in some games. Like maybe my opponent would not have blocked here if they knew I had a second Bilbo available for next turn. I don't know. My opponent discards a squee. They return a squee. So people, I've seen people talk about squee key to the side door. It doesn't really do anything unless you have another squee in play. You can't discard it from your hand unless you have another squee in play. So I don't think it's a very interesting synergy because I'm not very interested in casting squee. They do discard Sokinzon. This is looking cool to me though, like a Galvanic Blast key to the side door kind of value Saga Shell. I would be building it pretty different. I don't think I'd be playing looting unless I was playing Inti. Maybe you're playing Inti. Inti is pretty good. Okay. We better see Inti at some point. Easier like this with the Twitch Prime. Thank you. I guess Tamiyo is better than Bilbo here. They take 6 down to 6. I guess they can gain some life. They discard the Squee for free. Squee Cookbook is worse than the 4-2. Yeah, the 4-2 is better because you could just keep loopy-dooping them. Okay, so Inti. Oh, the box is still 63. Yeah, it should be -3 Bloodstained Mire, so I thought I'd change that. So they hit a Gemstone Caverns. Let's go ahead and not block anymore because we can't anymore. Or I guess we could, but not gonna. Then they flip over a Mox Amber to the Inti. They play the Gemstone Caverns. They play the Amber. They can gain 6 life here, which is about as much life as they need. So my Gandalf gets +1/+1 and deals them a damage. I think I'm just attacking. Easier like this with the Twitch Prime. Thank you. Yeah, Ragavan unblockable. I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing here. Maybe they have Marauding Mako. See if we draw like a Flame of Anor. That'd be nice. Backup Tamiyo. A little less nice. So they take 7 down to 4. Let's see what they're drawing. Key to the side door. Maybe I should have looked at my top card because if it was Flame, I guess I didn't want to cast the Bilbo. Yeah, I mean, they have to have Asmo in the stack for sure. Okay, so this is a fun top deck. Especially with the Bilbo in play. They may have some removal to break this up. So they discard the Squee again. They find another copy of Inti. Rocket with the Twitch Prime. Hope you're doing well. These decks seem sick. They can never deal with decks like Neoform. Their clock is glacial. I mean, you're playing against... They have cages and stuff, but... I agree. Game 1 is just, like, unwinnable. Oh, they hit a Gandalf. Wow. You can't put Asmo to play with turn 1 Vial. It's pretty rare. It's pretty rare that comes up. I remember being at a tournament and I had someone pitching to me an Asmo Aether Vial deck for, like, 30 minutes. I was like, yeah, you can build it. If only he could discard from exile. Okay, GG's. Yeah, I think I can work with this. The 3 islands is weird, but I can get Raucous Theater or Blood Crypt. So they're last seen playing Esper Blink. So graveyard that for a bit of value. Don't have Counterspell up. I think I can play this, and if they play Frog or Felia, I can push then Counterspell. Set up for this later. And I found Force of Negation Counterspell, so kind of cool to be able to go Gandalf with Force up maybe next turn. And if again, remember this Force of Negation is face down, unless they're watching the stream, in which case it's face up. Well, I do think this turn, let's be a little bit more patient. Because I don't want to go Gandalf and then they play Felia, and then they just play Riddler or Overlord and we lose. I'm going to go ahead and use the Snare here. Maybe a little bit risky if they play like Teferi Time Raveler, though. Also, I guess maybe with my mana situation, it was better to do it the other way. Looks like it's not going to be too relevant. See if they have a Ephemerate. Okay, no Ephemerate, or if they did, they didn't want to use it. So now I have Counterspell up from the Tamiyo. I think I'm still gonna play the Gandalf. And we have the Force of Negation up. I can't hide him. I can't hide him. Maybe they have Solitude Ephemerate. Okay, Fatal Push. So this did work out. I mean, I guess I could have counterspelled the Fatal Push and still had Force up. I don't know. I don't know what I want. I know I'm having a good time. So if they Ephemerate, we have the Force. Looks like they don't have the Ephemerate. Not a bad top deck at all. I'll say, comparing this to Questing Druid, like, Questing Druid does not let you hold up counterspells like this. I do think that dynamic is a pretty big deal. So my opponent's representing a Solitude. Yeah, I think I get a little aggressive here. Is Gandalf great? Yeah, I don't know. It seemed very good so far. You know, I think a lot of my experience with Hobbit cards, like the more fringe Hobbit cards, has been I'm not when I'm getting ready to play test. I'm like, I'm not sure how good this is, but we're gonna play a deck with it to see. And for a lot of these cards that we have played, that level of cards they haven't tested that well. Like in Gandalf is maybe the first one that's like, I don't know, we'll see, that's actually testing pretty dang well. Maybe a Zog was good too. To play a Riddler. Okay, Riddler from the Warp Zone. Fetch down to 2. Force of Negation, pitch Force of Negation, ping them down to 1. Unless they have Solitude, they're dead to any. I mean, just I guess dead on board too. Cool. So we're up a game against Esper Blink, which has been weirdly very popular. I don't understand how the format got so combo. It's Blink. Maybe Blink is better against combo than I think it is. I don't know. Looking at their builds, they've got High Noon in the sideboard. They've got Disputes in the sideboard. So like Disputes for their Disputes at least are good, and they also have Riddler, of course, and Teferis. The forces don't seem great, but they do hit Teferi Time Raveler. But they're also bad if Teferi resolves. You can play one, probably not much more than one. They have Felia, Emperor, no Frog. At least their last build didn't have Frog. Sometimes Prismatic Ending if they're going to Prismatic Ending Bilbo. Probably do not want the 4th Snare. I guess I'll play one Consign. I'm not a big Consign fan. Actually, I'm just going to play the second Force just for protection. The problem with I really have just hated Consign against Esper Blink, because if they ever seed off Thoughtseize, it's a dead card. It's really, really tough. I've lost a lot of games where I just boarded it in against Esper Blink and they saw it off Thoughtseize and they played around it the whole game, and it was really tough. How bad does this sound? Prowess Wizards with Wizard Staff and Narset and Light in Exile. That sounds very bad. Sounds very fun. I was on 4 monuments, so I went down to them on the center screen. Yeah, I couldn't copy paste from the chat. Did you post it? Did you post it here? It feels like I think I like the idea of playing more monuments. The squeeze don't seem very good to me. So like for Squee Key, the return to Quantum Riddle there. For Squee and Key to work together, you need to have a Squee in play. I think I would just rather play Oval Chase, but maybe that's wrong. Maybe that synergy is better. But like one Daredevil lets you activate Cookbook multiple times, and you can discard it multiple times, so like looting and stuff. Let's hold up the snare maybe for Felia. Yeah, it's just a disaster if it resolves, so that seems like a good enough reason. Guess I'm keeping that. Okay. Seems fine to just play this here. But it looks pretty cool. The lootings I think are better than I thought they were. Although I think you really want to maximize them with the monuments. And I think you may also want to be playing more burn. Like when you're drawing so many cards with the keys, like being able to draw into bolts and galvanic blast is pretty nice. It's also I also might not be playing. Oh wait, where are the inties? Yeah, this must not be the right build because there's no inties. Okay, and unfortunately they have Riddler Ephemerate, which is kind of game over, I guess. Well, I guess I've got my grindy stuff here. Let me cast the Gandalf. I guess I should not have played my land yet. Played out. Would you play a Spell Snare that hit paid mana 2 instead of mana value 2? Would I play a strictly better Spell Snare? Yes. That's just strictly better Spell Snare, right? I'm already playing not strictly better Spell Snare. Worse against Ruby Storm? If they already have a cost reducer in play? Worse against Kick Consult? Okay, I was thinking, I guess, so better against Overlord and Riddler, worse against Kick Consult and Ruby if they have a reducer already in play. Should be the same against K Command. Just only counters K Command X equals 0. For the Squee Loop, the question for me is how recursive do you need keys value to be to justify blank 3 mana 2/2 to enable it? It's not blank. You discard it to Cookbook for value, also looting for value. It's not just that. It's actually better with looting than Daredevil is. Like that's not worth nothing, I guess. I don't know how I'm gonna win this, but I'm gonna try. I mean, I guess my plan is to ping them a lot with Gandalf, but I need to draw like Flame right now, maybe. Okay, I didn't draw Flame, so I'm gonna attack with Tamiyo, and then I'm gonna draw Flame of Anor. Okay, I'm gonna go to game 3. So on the play for game 3. I think I'm actually going to go down a snare, up a force. Being able to force the Ephemerate on the Riddlers seems kind of nice. And also just being able to tap out for Bilbo or Gandalf with force up. 3 Fatal Push and a snare is really bad. I'm actually going to mulligan. Into a 1-lander? Key has been great without Squee. Yeah. I think you play Key anyways. It's not a question of, I mean, is Key good in that deck? I think Key does look great in that deck. But the question is Squee versus Oval Chase. Squee is better with looting, or maybe it's not that much better though. Sometimes it's worse. Yeah, the 4 Caverns is cool. Why no counter in the Riddler? I didn't have Counterspell up. Would be the main reason. I guess I keep the Fatal Push. Well, I don't have the mana for it. Okay, we'll keep the Counterspell. Oh, sorry. I should have kept the Bauble for the Bilbo. No control my critique. I had a critique at a lot of my drafts, and then it felt like I had too many card draw spells. I had a critique like over Bilbo for a bit, or sorry, over Gandalf. Let me go Flameshape first. It's a little weird, but yeah, you can discard legendary lands with Key. Kind of want to try to blank their removal, maybe. Okay, so they Thoughtseize me. I have a Force and a Flame of Anor, so if I draw a land, I can play Gandalf with Force up, and then maybe untap and Flame. They take my Snapcaster Mage. Okay, well, this is the plan. I'm going to get Watery Grave. If I draw a land, I can go Bilbo plus Flame of Anor, although I'm probably pitching the Bilbo to force this turn. My opponent also kept a 1-lander. Maybe we're actually just doing kind of good, although they have now drawn their second land. So it seems like they're trying to set up the Fatal Push by Gandalf. They do keep a card on top. Yeah, I'm loving Gandalf. I love you, Gandalf. It plays really well with counter magic and like just removal spells, like way better than these effects ever do. Would love for them to play Emperor of Bones or just something for me to Flame of Anor. I think I'm gonna play around Felia by waiting on the flame. Hard to say no to a counterspell here. If they do play Ophelia, I think I'm still gonna Flame of Anor, just get my 3-for-1. Even though counterspell, hold up counterspell feels like the safe line. I'll keep upgrade. I've got more black cards than red cards here. Or that are cost 1. Okay. Punished? You have to see what they would want to blink. Well, I was trying to play around. Yeah, I guess I just should have let them untap with the Felia. But I was trying to play around Ephemerate saving their Felia, which probably just lost me this game. Bilbo's not too bad. Too bad that Gandalf isn't in the graveyard for me to replay with the Bilbo. So we'll let them go down to 8. Have I thought about Vivi with Gandalf? I haven't too much. I just wanted to see how Gandalf played in this shell before I thought about it too much elsewhere. But Gandalf seemed pretty good so far. Looks like a prismatic ending, so they forced me to use the counterspell. 3 cards left in their hand. Tamiyo, Gandalf would be good. Guess I graveyard the sewer. Or play the sewer. I can attack with the Bilbo, and I can Flame of Anor target the Riddler. I don't get 2 modes. I guess I'm just going to cash this in for a draw 2. 2 mana draw 2. So can't play this for 2 from the yard. I guess I'm gonna play Tamiyo. It's maybe better to hold. I think I want to just be a little bit more proactive with the mana I use here. They play a tapped Witch Enchanter. Would love for them to go for like Emperor of Bones plus adapt. They warp a second Riddler with 2 cards in their hand. Hard to outvalue. Okay, I think I'm gonna concede this game and like think about like maybe playing Flash Fires in the sideboard or something, but I think we could have won that one, which is at least somewhat optimistic on the ball to 5. And Gandalf is looking good, so take some consolidation there. It's possible that like you just don't want to play Bilbo in this deck, and you want to play some more interaction or like a different wizard or Ragavan. Not that Bilbo is necessarily bad here, but Gandalf maybe just seems better than Bilbo in this show. Heat not worth considering. You could consider Heat, but you have to really do a lot of deck changes to play Heat, and then Heat is also still too slow against Trudge. So, like I've considered it, and I've considered it worse than just splashing black for push. Like it's just too slow against Trudge. Little Bilbo flooded, I guess. No baubles. Good that we can deal with a second frog. They pitch a mending. I guess I have to counter this. It would be nice if the push was going to my graveyard, but it's not. And thankfully they don't have to attract it to discard. Four cards in their hand. They get rid of my Tamiyo. Snare's pretty good against them. Maybe we'll surveil a Bauble into the yard. I guess we should have surveilled first because we could have surveilled Gandalf into the yard. I'll put that in the yard to flashback draw 2 next turn, and I guess I should have done that. Oh, I guess I wouldn't have found it though. So they got 4 cards in their hand. They're passing back. Interesting game. I really like Bilbo. I feel like it isn't his happiest home. I think I agree. Again, the main idea we were having here was I wanted to see how Bilbo playtested with Gandalf and how the adventure stuff feels. And so far, Gandalf feels really good, but that synergy seems not that important, and maybe there's a way to make it more important. Feels like the Dimir deck certainly better build around for Bilbo. Say that 5 times fast. Gonna bring in the Ghost Vacuums, the Snare, the Disputes. Keeping all 4 Fatal Push. I think I want to play a 3 Force, just how good Force has been in the deck. I guess we can trim a Bilbo. Trim a Bauble. Maybe down a Flame of Anor. Yeah, let's try that. Are there any colors he could work in black? I think white, mono, red seem interesting. I don't know about, like, you don't have that many legends for black. Unless you're playing like, unless you're like playing a Rotten Mouth Viper Asmo Shell or something, which just sound pretty fun. Snapcaster back. Snapcaster's been playable in Modern for a long time. It's just like, are you playing Flame of Anor? If yes, Snapcaster is playable in your deck, and Flame of Anor is good enough that Snapcaster is playable. It's not like amazing or anything, but okay, but it keeps a card on top. Sure. Don't think I'm supposed to force that. We're a Flame of Anor deck, so we could just cast the Snapcaster maybe end of their next turn and set up to cast a Flame of Anor at some point. Maybe I'll surveil instead. Okay, I think I'm kind of good with the extra land. I don't need to dig for it, so I can play the Snapcaster. Is Soul Guide Lantern better than Vacuum in a Bilbo deck? Yeah, Bilbo is better with Lantern. The thing, Vacuum is just so insane against Gorios. That's the main thing you want it for. But I may also have too many cards for this matchup, anyways. So I don't know. Is I guess the short answer. Maybe I want to use Push there, since Push mostly just kills this. I don't know. Remember other videos you hate Snapcaster is bad for a while. Yeah, it's been a while that's not been the case, thankfully. Riddler is so freaking good, dude. There's not a lot. I guess I really just have like one Cling to Dust I could Snapcaster main phase here. Oh, I was kind of like looking for something to snap back, but I guess it just kind of doesn't exist. So I'm gonna actually go, because they don't have a black mana up for the Nile Spellbomb. I'm gonna go Snapcaster. Try to target here. And I'm just gonna let the Mending resolve now, but if they had tapped the black up, I would not have played it. And I guess they tapped this way so they could have the Snare available. But I think with a Nile Spellbomb in play, trading Snapcaster for a Snare is kind of a win. They discard a Goryo's and a Solitude, so I guess we're just kind of weak to my opponent tapping out for Riddler. A Graveyard Bilbo. Against this Nile Spellbomb. Yeah, no counterspell, no disputes. Getting our butt kicked by Riddler last 2 matches. Add a Surveils. Let's go to game 3. What is Goryo's weak to? It's really hard to say, I think. We go down to push up a flame. It's hard to say. I don't even really know exactly like what your bad matchups are, because it mostly just feels like how cohesive is your draw. Maybe I don't know. Like I don't think you're super weak to anything as Goryo's, and you're not super strong against anything either. Yeah, maybe you're super weak to affinity, but I mean a lot of that is just like they main deck all these crypts. I guess that's maybe that's enough. I think you also play you could just play like 5 pest control / Wrath of Skies in the sideboard, and then all of a sudden are you weak to affinity? I don't know. So I'm weak to a frog here. I'm really weak to a frog. Yeah, I guess I'm so weak to it. Let's just not cast the counterspell. Niles the sideboard. Yeah, we could play Nile instead. Let's go ahead and sack a clue. Nice to draw land. If my opponent plays the Mending, I'm a little bit tempted to counterspell. Since I know they've got Atraxa in hand. It's just the back is the flashback. Yeah, we shouldn't, but doesn't mean I'm not tempted. I want to just see a Surveil here. Okay, they have the Mending, it looks like. Discard Solitude and they discard Atraxa. We can beat a Thoughtseize plus Goryo's, although they cannot Thoughtseize plus Goryo's here. I missed the Affinity Elves deck. It was really sad, honestly. Because we played 2 matches. They were both against Devoted Druid. And it was just so painfully obvious how much better Devoted Druid was than our deck. Okay, let's attack first. Could maybe wait till we have 1 more mana. The thing is, I think I like if I go cast Ghost Vacuum, then they cast Goryo's, I cast Counterspell, then I can vacuum up the Atraxa. And we were pretty weak to this. The good news is the Atraxa does get sacrificed here, so this is only like a draw 3 or 4. Well, they found the Teferi, so maybe it's gonna be like a draw 5. Where did the Druid deck come from? I don't know. I'm not sure exactly like the history of it. I know like there was some tension. Like I was playing a lot of Badger Bowl Shang-Chi stuff, and it was doing well, and like there was someone who like there's some other people took it and they got like multiple challenge top 8s, and then it felt like people switched to Devoted Druid, or the people who were playing Devoted Druid took over. But whatever happened, it was taken from the metagame. So they Thoughtseize me. Oh, I forgot to click the Delta that they had. They take my Flame of Anor, and then they have a Prismatic Ending. I guess I should not have 6 because they're probably going to ending the vacuum. Oh, they ending the Tamiyo instead of the vacuum. Interesting. Then I guess they're gonna play the frog. Maybe I should have exiled the Solitude in response. Kinda dead. Okay, my counterspell, I guess, is maybe I should just act a clue because my counterspell is useless. I think maybe, I guess my next card wouldn't have been Fatal Push, but it could have been. I do think Shang-Chi is like so huge for the Devoted Druid deck though. Like everything about the deck works so much better. Okay, we're pretty cooked. Okay, I think it's lunchtime for me. I'll say I'll say I liked Gandalf a lot, but I want to rebuild this deck. So again, the idea here was trying to see how Gandalf and Bilbo played together. It really felt like too much card advantage. This being not a wizard stank, I think. But Grixis Wizards with Gandalf seems pretty interesting. Can maybe get to play some like Shielder's Edicts for Riddlers and stuff like that. But I thought it was